And the Cubs hire former Tampa skipper Joe Madden. From the 1-800 Call Sam Studios, I'm Jeff Lesson. For more, 97to1theticket.com.
The following is a paid program. Views expressed on this program are not necessarily those of CBS Radio, its sponsors, or affiliates.
Good morning. That's the Hardcore Music Show, right? That sounds hardcore. It sure sounds like it. Welcome to the Hardcore Mortgage Real Estate Business Show, brought to you by Capital Mortgage Funding. Good morning, everyone out there. I'm Harvey Freed, Harry Glanz, and Alex Nafusi joining me.
Hey, buddy.
Here.
Good morning.
Morning, Harv. What's up, brother?
November 1st, Harry, already. And
Did you take the kids trick-or-treating last night? What'd you do?
I did not. I was not with them last night. They were out and about doing their own thing. But
That's cool.
There were some trick-or-treaters
by
out.
themselves now, don't they?
Yeah, they do their own thing. They're too old for that now.
That's cool.
They don't need their dad.
We only had about 20 trick-or-treaters last night. The weather was horrible.
You know what, though? I used to rough it out as a kid. What's going on? Of course, the kids aren't as tough as we were in the 70s and 80s.
Well, that's different. We were on a mission. Remember you took your pillowcase cover?
Oh, yeah.
And you were on a mission to get as much candy as you possibly could.
There's 15 pounds of candy in that by the time I was done.
Now you go out. It's maybe, what's the time you go out? Like 6 to 8 o'clock? We were out. I mean,
way too many rules. There's too many rules out there.
You know, maybe there needs to be nowadays. You never know. But, I mean, when we were kids, we just went out. We just went hit every neighborhood, every house.
It was totally different, and I got to say, we want to thank all the great folks that helped out. Was that Thursday night with Angels Night here locally in Southeast Michigan.
Yeah.
A salute to all those hardworking people that kept the city safe.
I think it was a
on
success.
Thursday.
Where did we ever go wrong where people just started burning down houses? I mean, where did that happen?
We started with eggs. We did. I mean, the eggs were okay. Eggs, I guess.
Eggs are not okay. They don't come off.
Yeah, eggs are okay.
No, they're not.
Wait. No,
Could you imagine hosing your house off right now?
Guys, it started out with soaping windows.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's
that you can wash off.
Okay,
Yes.
toilet papering trees, soaping windows, doing stuff like that. Then it escalated to whatever
Something
it escalated
bad.
to.
Definitely a salute
burning
out
houses
there.
down.
Yeah. Went to a great Halloween party last night. Our buddy Mike Abrams from Mr. Joe's and Five Guys had a great party, and there were a lot of great costumes. And one of the classic costumes that there were a lot of great costumes, but our friend Dave Prees, the guy who is partners with Michael at Mr. Joe's, he was Jared.
Oh, yeah, from Subway. Nice.
Subway?
No, that guy.
What?
The insurance guy, State Farm. What was that guy?
Oh, Jake from State Farm.
Jake from State Farm. I didn't mean Jared. Sorry, Jake from State Farm.
What are you wearing? Jake from State Farm.
It was great. He was Jake from State Farm. It was awesome. It just cracked me up. You know, I see a lot of costumes, and I
Never
like,
too old, obviously.
No,
Harry,
I like
for
dressing.
Halloween. You love it.
I like it. We have a big thing at the office, as you know. The 23rd year in a row, we were doing our annual Halloween costume contest yesterday at the office, and we have some great costumes. So we really treat it. You know, it's just a fun kind of holiday. It breaks it up. It breaks up your work week. And
Cowboy.
And what were you? I saw a picture of you. What were you?
Cowboy.
That was good.
We are taking all your calls this morning about mortgages and real estate, as always. 248-539-9797. We're brought to you by Capital Mortgage Funding. We have people in the office all weekend long at 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker. It's 1-800-569-7283. Always looking forward to your calls here on the show. Of course, mortgage rates. We always want to tip off the morning with outstanding, still slightly higher after better news out of Japan yesterday. They've got their own little version of QE, which we have here, and they're trying to change some things up over there. Hopefully, rates will continue to stay strong. Again, just a little burp yesterday. The stock market did very well also.
Yeah, market was up almost 200 points, up 195. It's up, a little over 1% for the year. It's up over 17,000. I mean, the NASDAQ was up. Everything is trending in the right direction, but the solid thing is that mortgage rates are staying extremely low.
I hate to say this. I don't really.
You're going to jinx it.
I know, I'm totally going to jinx it.
Don't say they're not going up. You're going to say I don't see them going up. Where I'm going to come back and I'm going to say, of course they're going to go up.
Well, I mean, they have to go up.
They're
not going to stay this low forever. I mean, they are going to go up. And I think one of the nice things we see now is we see a lot of people that have purchased homes in maybe 10, 11, 12, they're refinancing and they're dropping their PMI because rates have come down to a point where you can drop the private mortgage insurance and keep the payment the same, as well as shorten the term. I have
that's the 15-year thing that we talk about all the time.
A handful of clients right now that I've taken from 30 years down to 20 years. And it's just, when you do the math, cutting 5 years off your mortgage payment, if your payment's $1,000 a month, you just saved $60,000.
So,
Here, you're
mega savings.
What I would tell you is that you're going to thank us if you shorten your term. Okay, don't think about don't think about saving that extra $100 and extending the term. Think about how much money you're going to save, and in in 15 years, you're going to thank us that you shortened your term.
Actually broke down some numbers. We'll get to those definitely today. 248-539-9797. If you're buying a house, we're excited to hear from you. Deal with us. We were all out at closings yesterday, running around all over Southeast Michigan. A lot of fun. I went to one closing out in Novi. Lots of fun. I always love old-fashioned closings when there's a buyer and a seller in the same room.
And they're getting along and they're talking. They're high-fiving.
So great.
High-fiving.
Yeah, they're high-fiving.
I went out to lunch with the buyer yesterday right after, and he was like, it was so great to see him there and all the different information that they shared about, whether it be the garbage day, the neighbors, things to talk about. He was talking about how he blew all this extra insulation in. They were talking about utility bills on the place. And, you talk about small things like that, but just the utility bill, instead of the guy's old house was $350 a month, now he's talking, in the dead of winter last year, the seller told him it was like $150. So, again, another reason and something to save money.
Well, the pride of ownership from the seller to the buyer, where the seller can convey everything that was going on with the house. And you can, they'll exchange the garage door opener, the keys. They'll talk about who did the landscaping, their sprinkler guy. And it's just, there's a pride of ownership when you go to a closing and you see those people get along at a closing. It's just a lot of fun.
I don't know if I could even hear myself on these. It's okay. I'll just quiet down a little bit.
That's good.
Microphone
Sound good.
problem. 9:06 this morning out here. Definitely interesting way to start off November 1st. We get to roll back the clocks tonight, which is always a good thing. That is tonight.
Yeah.
What if you get an extra hour of sleep? You'll love it. You might even get a chance to go out
Sunday,
again.
though. I'm sleeping in anyway. It doesn't matter.
Bro, he needs more sleep, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Harry, I don't want to say that you're a baby boomer, but you definitely are. You're one of the younger baby boomers out there.
Thank
when were
you,
born?
Harv.
What was that, 59? When were you
58.
born? 58, not too bad. 1944 to 1963, you baby boomers out there. It's interesting. There's been a lot of talk, and we've talked about it here, about the millennial conversation, all about these young people, and I'm guilty of it myself, only talking about that group of buyers out there. But there's many folks that are baby boomers that are doing all sorts of things. Some folks are downsizing, Harry. Some are actually buying up, which has been interesting.
It's, I'll tell you this. I don't understand why somebody would want more debt, but here, what my group, I'm gonna lay claim to my group, the baby boomers. They're doing all kinds of things, Harvey. They're buying rental property. They're buying vacation homes, second homes, whether, I call it the I-75 corridor from here all the way down to Florida.
Right. Nice.
They're buying, they're getting their kids into homes. They're buying homes for their children.
There's a lot.
Right? So there's a lot of home buying in the baby boomers. The baby boomers are not done purchasing property. As a matter of fact, they're expanding. They might have 2 or 3 different properties. Our generation, we worked really, really hard. So we want that up north cottage, or we want that home in Florida or Arizona. Okay?
And people that have done it the right way, they're able to do that. Where you talk about shorting the term, if your mortgage is paid off right now, it's okay to buy that place up in Traverse City. It's okay to buy that place, down in Florida. I have a ton of clients doing that. And what makes me feel really old is I have clients that I was first in the industry. I did their mortgages, and now they're buying their kids' houses.
Right. That's exactly what's going on right now. They're buying these vacation properties that they can go ahead and they can extend the quality of their life. And that's what it's all about. They're not retiring necessarily, but they want to extend the quality of life. So on the weekends, maybe they'll take off a half a day on Friday, go up north, spend Friday night, Saturday, Sunday, come home Sunday night. And that's what, it's not being invented by the baby boomers, because their parents did that also, and their grandparents.
Definitely that little recession, we had a big bump in the road, though, for many definitely out there. It modified their plans, Harry. I mean, they might have to put their plans on hold. They had plans to retire maybe a few years ago. Now they're hanging in there.
But what it also did, Harvey, it's making people appreciate the quality of the life now. That you have to enjoy it, that you have to just, you're going to work hard, you want to relax also on the weekends, and you can't think about every little thing, because guess what? The clock's ticking. I hate to say it.
It's funny. You guys
every day I wake up, it's like, I'm good about it.
It's funny you guys talk about just like enjoying life and everything. And I'll use my parents as an example quick, is that, their house is paid off. They did it the right way. They did the 15-year fix, paid it all off. My dad, he gets to start taking Social Security in March. You think he's so excited. You'd think he won those, whatever, $1,000 a week for life scratch-off lottery tickets. He's got the whole year planned of what he's doing with it, and he's still working. He's doing it the right way. I mean, he's one of those guys that really just Harry, you guys are buddies. I mean, he just enjoys himself.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
Harry, there was recent data on that on you baby boomers. 37% had plans to move from their current home in a recent poll. Common wisdom is that boomers would inevitably downsize. You would think you would just downsize when they move, but that's not actually. 46% of them are looking for nicer homes with more space, not less space. And then there's the upsiders, and then there's also the other side of it, the downsizers. And a lot of the folks like Harry in that age group might be looking to downsize a house, but they're not looking to give up amenities. They want to have goods. They want that gorgeous new house that's updated and built, obviously, in the last few years. So they're not giving up much. They want those very functioning kitchens and closet space and all those great things.
We want to upgrade technologically. We want, there's smart houses out there. We want a lot of TVs. Let's face it, we want a lot of TVs. We want a first floor master.
Even their dream homes, yeah.
We want a first floor master instead of having to climb the stairs. I mean, I can still climb stairs, but man, I'm not that old. But that's what's going on. And I just hear it all the time. Tremendous amount of closings this week. When the last day of the month is a Friday, and you've got all week to go ahead, everybody seems to want to close on the last day of the week. So we did a lot of properties in Florida this week, a lot of properties up north, and it's just, as you said, Harvey, very topical that people are enjoying life and they're buying these second homes, buying rental properties, and buying homes for their children.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to do, too. Definitely give us a call, 248-539-9797. We take all your calls. Again, we'll talk all about purchasing homes, refinancing, all this type of information. Let's get things rolling here. We've got a George out there.
Actually, we got to go to break. Buddy.
Oh, we are going to a break. I hear that music. Just trying to hang in there. We've got a couple callers on the line, 248-539-9797. Come and join the show.
When it comes to vehicle safety, having poor visibility is a risk not worth taking. Whether you have a road grime-covered windshield, worn wiper blades that smear, or dim headlights that need replaced, a quick visit to your local O'Reilly Auto Parts store can help you see clearly and safely no matter what you drive. You'll find thousands of brand-name parts in stock, guaranteed low prices, and professional parts people to help you get the job done right.
If your vehicle's headlights seem dim, it could be time to replace them. Right now at O'Reilly Auto Parts, pick up a twin pack of Sylvania Silver Star headlights for $24.99 after mail-in rebate. See farther and more clearly with a twin pack of Silver Star headlights on sale for $24.99 after mail-in rebate at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day. Limit supply. See store for details.
O'Reilly. Auto Parts.
When it comes to tackling, the Detroit Lions defense takes their job very seriously.
You like that? Let's go.
And when it comes to tackling cancer, well, the Josephine Ford Cancer Institute and the Detroit Lions take this mission very, very seriously. Like I said, the Josephine Ford Cancer Institute and your Detroit Lions take tackling cancer very, very seriously. And they need you to get in the game.
Stage 3 cancer, stage 4, you best be in the
Go online now to GameOnCancer.com. 14,000 people are treated at Henry Ford each year. So hit cancer hard at GameOnCancer.com. The Josephine Ford Cancer Institute, the Detroit Lions, and you tackling cancer together.
Listen, you work hard, take care of family, help your community. But according to a few politicians, you shouldn't have a say when it comes to your own health care. Patrick Kolbeck is one of those guys. He opposes a woman's right to choose, even in cases of rape and incest. So, of course, Kolbeck voted for the rape insurance law that prohibits insurance companies from covering victims of sexual assault. He even supports laws that would ban forms of birth control, including the pill. The pill. Patrick Kolbeck is making decisions about your health care, and they're the wrong ones. Thankfully, Diane Slavens is speaking up for Michigan women. A healthcare professional, Slavens fought efforts to restrict women's healthcare because she knows women should make the decision to use birth control, not politicians. Diane Slavens is speaking out for Michigan women, so you have a voice in your own healthcare decisions. Paid for by the Michigan Democratic State Central Committee, not authorized by any candidate.
Listeners are winning huge cash at DraftKings.com, America's favorite one-week fantasy football site. Get free entry into the $100,000 fantasy football contest this weekend. Visit DraftKings.com and enter code Detroit to play free. DraftKings.com.
New Sunday.
Where's your sister?
A missing daughter becomes a diplomatic crisis.
It's a 7.3 quick.
I'd like to go back out there.
I can't let you do that.
New Madam Secretary, CBS Sunday.
Touchdown, Detroit Lions!
Detroit Lions football. One more reason when you think of sports, you think of Detroit's #1 sports station. 97.1
Welcome back to the show. We broadcast till 10 o'clock. It's the Hardcore Mortgage Show, brought to you by Capital Mortgage Funding. We definitely have people in the office all day long, so give us a call. 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker. Here, live in the studio, we always take your calls. 248-539-9797. And that last one, mortgage.show at lowrateonline.com. Always looking to return your emails and your questions. Quite a few people out there talking about refinancing, and we're going to get into all about refinancing. So let's go out to our first call this morning. I believe it's Jorge on the line, so welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. I just got married 2 months ago, and I moved from the home that I was living in, which is about 4.5 hours away from where I live now. I was able to find a renter, but I was wondering if I would be able to refinance that house even though I'm not living in it. I know it's a rental at this point because I'm not moving there anymore.
Right.
I won't be living there anymore. What is your take on that?
What's the balance on it, Jorge?
89.
And what's the interest rate?
5.75, I believe.
Yeah, there's definitely some savings there, man. I mean, you got to have 20% equity, unless it's backed by Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac. We can do a HARP loan on it. But I think there's definitely some savings there for sure, man. Absolutely.
Hey, Jorge, what's your long-term plan for that house? How long are you going to have it?
Well, I'm still kind of underwater on the house. It's in St. Louis, Michigan, which is a tiny little town. So I'm hoping to hang on to it for a couple more years and see if I can sell it just to break even.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me do this one. Let me call after the show. I'll run some numbers for you, and we'll get you taken care of, man. We'll take care of it. There's definitely some savings there for sure.
All right, thank you.
You got it. Thanks, man. See ya.
All right, we got open lines all morning long. There's the sun popping out, by the way.
Those rental properties, you can still refinance those. I mean, obviously, there's some different adjustments. They're high risk loans as viewed by Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, but they're not. It's not as complex as you think. I have a lot of buddies buying rental properties right now. Dan Dubensky and Jess Taylor from Scout Real Estate. Roy Loke is still very hot from a rental market standpoint. And, you got to have 20% down, but that's not a complex transaction. People think it's like a commercial loan. You just need more money down is all it is.
There's that, gentleman calling. Again, we appreciate all your calls here. But again, can we get to you before you move out of that home that you're currently in? When it's your primary residence, you have more options. And to refinance a primary residence is typically less expensive than a rental property, pure and simple. Now, a second home would be a little bit different. Again, anyone out there, if you're listening, 248-539-9797. Call us sooner than later. A lot of times you need to refinance it and then make the move.
Well,
but definitely welcome to our area.
Harry had the right question where he said, what's your plan with the house?
Yeah, if he plans on keeping the house long term, he's definitely got to make a move right now. His rate's too high, even though it's a rental property. If he plans on having it, if it's occupied, if he's getting a little bit of, offsetting the debt by having a renter in there, I hate to use the term if he's making money or if he's breaking even, because unless you really know what you're doing, I mean, maybe the best you can do is break even and have a tax deduction, but, you have to see what their long-term plan is. His long-term plan, if he plans on keeping it, he can save some money.
A lot of education goes along with that. Again, what are the homes similar to him selling for? And the reason why is maybe he drops it down to a 15-year and he's no longer underwater in a handful of years. And that's the key. Can you build enough equity where you're able to sell a place 3 or 4 years down the road? Anyways, Harry, back to the baby boomer conversation. 48% in this data that came out recently, 48% did mention that they would be looking for a ranch. Not everyone loves going up and down those stairs. And believe it or not, Harry, less than 1% said that they didn't require a batting cage in the backyard.
Well,
how about that
they
one?
haven't lived. Maybe their kids are grown, and maybe they should, try to reinvest in a batting cage for their grandkids. I know that's what I'm going to do.
Okay, there you go.
I had a batting cage in my backyard, as you know, and you make fun of me all the time. And I'm going to keep, I'm buying a new one.
For the grandkids?
For my grandkids.
I love it.
Yeah, I'm going to have grandkids in 20 years, maybe.
It'll become more
neither
popular.
kid's married yet.
Married? They're not even out of school yet.
248-539-9797. We always welcome your phone calls here on the Hardcore Mortgage Show.
Gentlemen, we talk about this all the time, and rates are low. There's a lot of opportunities. So what happens when there's a lot of opportunities? The scam artists come back in town, right? So there's a little article that reminded me of don't, fall victim to a scam. It was in the Michigan business section of the Detroit News last week. When rates are low, all of a sudden you're going to start getting email. You're going to start getting, U.S. mail at the house. You're going to start getting phone calls about people that they could promise to lower your rate, modify your mortgage, and it's not going to cost you anything. But they want you to write them a check or give them a credit card for $500 and everything. Listen, we said it a couple weeks ago. There are a lot of these places out there that the best thing that you can possibly do is just call back your existing lender. If you have a relationship with somebody like us at Capital Mortgage Funding, just give us a call, and we will vet out all of the accurate or the inaccurate versus accurate information. We will go ahead and disseminate all this information for you because there are people that just want to take your money.
You guys got to remember that a mortgage is publicly recorded. So anybody can go to the county and they can pull the records and they can see Harvey Freed got his mortgage for X amount of dollars from Capital Mortgage Funding. And what these companies do, it'll say like a return email, mortgage with Capital Mortgage Funding, and it'll have like an American flag and an eagle over it, and it makes it look like it's from our firm.
Yeah, it makes it seem like that they're related to us, too.
And then at the bottom, in the smallest print humanly possible, says not affiliated with Capital Mortgage Funding with a little asterisk. Right. And that's where these, like Harry was talking about, that's where these scammers start going. And they're like, because I got a call the other day. I'm like, yeah, I'm working with someone in your firm on my refinance, and it's just not going anywhere. And they were calling to complain. I'm like, well, who are you working with?
Wasn't even us.
Nothing even to do with us.
Exactly.
Absolutely nothing. I'm like, dude, why would you not call me directly? Why would you think that I would just have like some goofball calling you, to refinance your loan and it not go anywhere?
Well, definitely give us a call to refinance and pay off debt. Again, a lot of families out there have been taking advantage of the equity in their homes. Definitely give us a phone call and find out if you can reduce the terms, save money. A lot of times pull out some equity. There's VA loans that allow you to go for all our veterans up to 90% cash out. HARP loans are available. So many opportunities to save money. And we're going to try JT out there in Detroit. JT, good morning. Welcome to our show.
Hey, good morning. How are you guys?
Good morning, JT.
Good. Listen, my question is, I'm going to be buying a second home. This will be a second purchase. And most of the homes are requiring 20% down. And I was just wondering, was there any other way of purchasing a home without having to put down 20%? Just buying, FHA, conventional, what?
As a rental property?
No, I'm sorry.
Vacation?
We're selling the current home and buying another one.
No, man. Okay, as long as it's going to be your primary, you can do as little as 3.5% down.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, you can't buy a rental property with 3.5% down. But if you're going to live there as your primary residence, yes.
Look, JT, you can't make a lateral move. That's the deal. As long as you're within the reason and guidelines, you can move up. You can move to a bigger home. You have to identify why the reasons you're moving. A bigger home, better school district. Your family's outgrown the existing house. There's many reasons that are legitimate. And, yes, you can go ahead and buy another house. But if you're thinking about buying the house around the block from you because it's a good investment, that any underwriter is going to look at that and require a larger down payment than the minimums that we're talking about.
Okay.
Where's that second home?
Good to know.
Yeah, JT, where's that second home? What were you thinking about doing?
Well, we're purchasing a home, because we're consolidating my future wife and I and stuff like that. So we're thinking about purchasing a new home. We haven't, really gotten into the market yet, but it seems like everything that we taught or looked at required 20% down, and that's just a lot.
Yeah.
And I was just wondering what the other options.
Yeah, that's not true. Yeah, you can put down a lot less than that for sure.
A lot less. JT, it's a good call this morning.
We'll call after the show and get you taken care of, man.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Right, thank you very much. Again, there's tons to know, A to Z. There's so much to know. It was actually back and forth texting a client last night. I flat out said, look, it's not like it used to be. There are many layers to a transaction. One of the things I pointed out to the specific client was sort of interesting, too. We haven't even got the appraiser out there yet. The file just started. they've already had 2 inspections, water and the well and then the septic, and a regular home inspection. And then also they're just in the beginning of this whole thing with the appraisal. I mean, just even before the transaction even starts, you're talking about spending money, having inspectors go to the property, checking on things that are available in the community. There are many, many layers when you're purchasing a house. It's just not A and then B and C and then you close. There's just so much more going on.
It's the largest investment you're going to make in your life, the home purchase transaction, and you have to get those inspections, Harvey. We would never, ever suggest that you enter into a transaction without getting all these inspections. A home inspection is extremely important. You know, they range in cost anywhere from, say, $300 to $700, and it's well worth it because somebody's going to go ahead and inspect the house for 3 or 4 hours, and they're going to point out all the details in that house. And then you're going to make your decision. Do you want to go through the transaction? Do not waive the right for a home inspection.
I love home inspections. They tell you so much about a house. Isn't it great, Alex?
There's just so many things. I mean, especially from like a first-time buyer standpoint. I mean, there are so many things that I had no idea. I mean,
and a great inspector will show you where the valves are, how to turn things off when the seasons change.
Like furnaces. I mean, if you're a young couple and you're scrounging up your $10,000 to put down or whatever, and your furnace goes now when it's 35 degrees outside. Dude, that just sucks, man. I mean, and those are things you can be prepared for ahead of time by having the house inspected. It's so important.
I find a lot of information now from having the home improvement guys or a home inspector. I used to call a furnace guy, a hot water heater, a plumber. Man, guy says, you ever drained your hot water heater? I'm like, what is it? What's that? Yeah. Meanwhile, I'm replacing 2 hot water heaters a few years ago. Lots to know. We've got some great information to share with you. And Cindy, you're calling about a refinance out in Lake Orion. Welcome to the show.
Good morning. It's good to be on the show.
Thanks, Cindy.
We're looking to refinance our primary residence with the economic downturn a few years ago. We didn't think we had enough equity in the house, but now I think we do. And our mortgage has been sold so many times that we have no connection to our mortgage company.
Okay.
And we'd like to be with a reputable mortgage company such as yourselves.
Thank you.
Yeah, to be able to refi.
Hey, Cindy, hang on 1 second. Okay, we got to run to a break. Will you hold on? Give me like 2 minutes and I'll be right back.
Yeah, don't go anywhere. All right, we'll get back to your call.
We've got some great information to share with you. Lots of open lines. 248-539-9797.
For the Tigers.
97.1 The Ticket. Hoops fans, NBA season is finally here. All the fast-paced, edge-of-your-seat action is going down now. And FanDuel.com is turning up the excitement with tons of fantasy basketball action. At FanDuel, you play in one-day leagues for real money and get immediate cash payouts. Plus, there's no season-long commitment, so you only play when you want. At FanDuel, you can pick a new team any day. It brings a whole new level of excitement to every night of basketball games. And you can play fantasy leagues at FanDuel for as little as $1. How awesome is that? And it gets even better with this special free offer. Right now, FanDuel is offering you free entry into a one-day 50-50 money league. That's right, free entry. Finish anywhere in the top half, and you'll win instant cash. No strings attached. But hurry, offer ends soon. The only way to get free entry is to go to FanDuel.com, click the microphone in the upper right corner, and enter promo code 1010. That's FanDuel.com, promo code 1010.
If you think you have the best internet service, think again. AT&T U-verse just can't deliver what Xfinity can. Xfinity delivers the fastest, most reliable internet. U-verse doesn't. Xfinity also delivers the fastest and most reliable in-home Wi-Fi for all rooms, all devices, all the time. U-verse doesn't. Plus, Xfinity Internet includes Constant Guard, the most comprehensive online protection suite of any internet provider at no additional cost. U-verse doesn't. Don't settle for U-verse. Get the fastest, most reliable internet with Xfinity from Comcast. Call 1-800-XFINITY or visit Comcast.com to learn about all of the great Xfinity Internet-only offers available. Or ask how you can get started with Economy Plus Internet service for $19.99 a month for 12 months. There's no term contract and no early termination fee. Plus, it's all backed by the 30-day money-back Comcast customer guarantee. Don't wait. Call 1-800-XFINITY today. Offer ends 11/9/14. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Limited to Economy Plus 3 megabits per second internet service for new residential customers. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra. After promo regular rates apply.
At Qdoba, we say down with upcharging. Because you shouldn't have to pay extra for extra flavor. You can add on anything you want to your next burrito, taco, or quesadilla with no extra charge. Freedom to choose means infinite possibilities. And at Qdoba, Well, that freedom tastes like guacamole. Bam! Extras aren't extra, only at Qdoba.
Order with abandon. Now available at all Metro Detroit area restaurants.
Imagine a store that lets you get the things you wanted, how you wanted. Don't want to use your credit? Don't. Don't have credit? Don't worry. Want to set up a payment plan around your paydates so you're never short on cash? It's up to you. Imagine payments that fit your budget, your schedule, your life. That's Rent-A-Center. Imagine that. No credit needed. Flexible payment plans scheduled around your needs. Imagine new possibilities at Rent-A-Center. Rental purchase transaction. See store for details.
Tune in November 9th as the Lions take on the Dolphins. Game time 1 p.m. Presented by Ford, the official automotive company of the Detroit Lions Radio Network.
Sports news all day, every day. This is 97.1 The Ticket.
Brought to you by the Office of Highway Safety. Wings go to 6-2-2 in the young season with a 5-2 win over the defending Cup champs, LA Kings, of the Joe. Datsuk and Nyquist each with 2 goals. Tigers exercised their option in relief pitcher Joaquin Soria. They also extend 1-year qualifying deals to Max Scherzer and Victor Martinez. Andy Dirks claimed by the Toronto Blue Jays. Chicago Cubs hire former Tampa skipper Joe Madden as their new manager. Dave Brandon resigns as AD at U of M. He's replaced on the interim basis by James Hackett. Michigan with homecoming today against Indiana. 3:30 to kick off at the Big House on AM 950. Wolverines have won 18 straight against the Hoosiers. And Kentucky, number 1 in the new AP men's top 25 basketball poll for the 2nd straight year. Michigan State checks in at 18. Michigan at 23. From the 1-800 Call Sam Studios, I'm Jeff Lesson. For more, 9701theticket.com.
You've got a question? We've got an opinion. 97.1 The Ticket.
Alrighty, welcome back to the show. We broadcast again until 10 o'clock. It's the Hardcore Mortgage Show brought to you by Capital Mortgage Funding. We've got an office full of folks there to help you at 1-800-LOW-RATE. That's 1-800-569-7283. We always take your emails at mortgage.show@lowrateonline.com. As you guys know, in cities across the United States, millions of people will be kicked out of their homes. Rents have risen 7% in the last year. He's got it.
That was sweet.
Thank you, Johnny. I appreciate that.
That's not, it's like a celebration.
That was
throwing
cool.
them out.
Wait, you said millions of people were going to get kicked out of their house, and then all of a sudden that music went on.
Yeah, exactly.
What was that about?
While income has only inched up, 1.8% last year. I mean, renters are spending a lot of money. Look, if you are definitely paying your rent on time, home ownership is the way to go. Find out where you fit into this home ownership thing just by calling us here or Capital Mortgage at 1-800-LOW-RATE, and you'll definitely get some great information. Let's go back to Cindy about that refinance. We want to wrap you up, Cindy, and again from Lake Orion. Go ahead with your question again.
Okay. Well, our primary residence, we purchased back in 95. And right now our interest rate, we've refinanced it about 9 years ago. Our interest rate is 5.75. And I believe we have enough equity in it now to be able to refinance it, and that's what we're looking to do. Our mortgage has been sold numerous times.
Right.
Right now it's with Select Portfolio Servicing. I don't even really know who that is.
Okay. I mean, Cindy, I think you're in a situation right now where your rate, unfortunately, it's so high, you can probably move it to a 15-year, and the payment's going to stay the same. And you'll just pay it off.
I would love to do that.
Yeah, it's absolutely. That's a great decision. I mean, I can run the numbers for you. I mean, if you don't want to be locked into a 15-year, we can actually, set the term at a 20-year or 25-year, and you can just pay additional principal. I think if you're this far into the term, I'd like to keep it, on track to pay it off, as soon as possible.
Boy, that 15-year would knock 6 years off.
I agree with that. That would be our goal. We'd love to go to a 15-year at a lower interest rate, lock it in, and be able to pay it off. We're in our early 50s.
Oh, perfect. Yeah.
And would like to retire someday.
Yeah, so, I don't blame you. Good. It's a great call. It's a great question. And I'll call you after the show. Give me about a half an hour.
Okay, wonderful.
Great.
Thanks,
Cindy.
Thanks for joining us. 248-539-9797. Ed, you've got a situation, you're calling in from Roseville, that many folks out there have. Go ahead and tell us what you got going on.
The wife and I, we lost our home in 2011 after I lost my job in 2008 and went back to school to get back to work. Since that time, we've been living with family, and I was in the military in the past, and I'm trying to find out how long of a wait should I wait, getting past the bankruptcy, or how long do, mortgage brokers or banks look at the bankruptcy to get back into a house of our own again.
So there was a bankruptcy and a foreclosure, correct?
Yes, the foreclosure was taken up in the bankruptcy, and basically it was either that or get kicked out.
No, you're okay, man. I mean, we lost your job. It sucks, dude. It means it's a tough area sometimes. When did the house go to sheriff's sale? You know,
that was in November of 2011.
So November. So we're over. It's a 3-year waiting period.
You might be ready to go right now.
You might be ready to go. And have you reestablished your credit since the bankruptcy?
Yes, as a matter of fact, my credit, I think it's pretty good. It's in the high 6s, low 7s.
Sounds definitely, man. I mean, you're going to qualify for an FHA loan, it sounds like. Let me give you a call after the show. I'll run your credit, see what I can do for you. But, let's get you back in that market, man.
Yeah, if that credit's good enough, maybe even a VA loan. You said you have your VA eligibility?
Yes, I just recently got the records for my DD-214s to reapply for the certificate of eligibility.
Yeah, fantastic. Go ahead and get that certificate of eligibility. And, as long as you have that in hand, you should be ready to go ahead and move forward. We're definitely going to be following up with you, Ed. Thanks for the call this morning.
Thanks,
get back
Ed.
into the game. You know, there you go. Another guy who had some hard times. But whatever it is, you can get back into the purchase market just by simply getting your credit straightened out.
Yeah, Alex and Harvey, what's going to be very important for Ed is that he gets all his documentation together and presents it to us, completely, so we can go ahead and investigate. The dates on that sheriff's sale are going to be very, very important. And then the DD-214 and a certificate of eligibility. We have to have all of that, and, we'll put it in process, and he'll come out okay. But the dates on all of those documents are going to be pretty important.
Definitely good stuff. Again, a lot of excitement out there when the sun is shining. It still feels like home buying season. So if you're still out there looking for houses, definitely give us a phone call. Get that real approval in your hand. A lot of times we can set you up with some of the greatest real estate agents around. We work with some great negotiators, people that know everything about the business, and that's who you want to hire. You want to hire the professionals. I'm actually going to be out at an open house tomorrow in Royal Oak I wanted to throw out there.
Is that a great segue?
It's sort of a great segue because I'm going to spend some time with the real estate agent, and more importantly, see a lot of buyers that are out there looking at homes. So this house is awesome, Alex. Downtown Royal Oak, $425,000. It's a new construction house. This house has everything. It's really one of the coolest houses I've been in. Now, sure, it's not for everybody. There's not a backyard that's going to be big enough to have a football field back there, but you're in walking distance to all the things that are downtown gives you. The theater down there, the restaurants, the shopping, there's bookstores. Pretty exciting stuff. So if anyone's out in the Royal Oak area, definitely check it out. 500 North Center. It's an awesome house. There's a few different new constructions on that street, Alex. And as you know so much about new construction, a lot of the builders have been tearing down houses. I saw a whole bunch in Birmingham recently, and of course all around Southeast Michigan, and rebuilding some gorgeous houses in some great communities. Let's continue the calls today while we want to roll with, let's try Randy out there in Detroit. Hey, good morning, Randy. Welcome to the show.
Hi. I was explaining that I have a son who's getting married, and because of the school and work situation, they're going to need a house for a couple of years. And I'm wondering if, that's a smart thing to do to, purchase a house knowing that you're going to have it maybe a couple of years, 2.5 years or so.
Hey, I mean, if I had a crystal ball, I'd be the richest guy in the world. I mean, if he's only here temporarily for 2 years, I mean, I don't see housing, the housing prices falling again, but I mean, he may be better off renting if he's just going to be here for a couple of years.
Right.
I mean, by the time you pay closing costs to buy it, a realtor to sell it, moving expenses. I mean, 2 years is not a long time.
Yeah, Randy, you have to do the cost analysis, the rent versus buy. So if you're going to an apartment, let's say the apartment is, I'm just making up these numbers, $1,000 a month, and he's going to be there for 36 months. He's going to spend $36,000 plus utilities and everything like that. So then you go ahead and go to the other side of the ledger and, look in the area where you're going to buy a house. And if you're going to spend equal to or just a little bit more than $36,000, it might be worth it. But if it's going to cost you a lot more, and then, like Alex said, there's the time, effort, and energy in selling the property once it's done, and there is no guarantee that the appreciation is going to be, continually.
No, we know that now.
Like it is now. And we, so if anything,
we learned that lesson.
It sounds like you and I are around the same age. It used to be everybody set their alarm on January 1st, and they woke up and they wanted two things: home appreciation and a raise. And it doesn't work. And both they thought were automatic, and it doesn't work that way anymore. So I would do the cost benefit analysis like that, and we can help you do that. And then also, and it sounds like he's going to be in that property a temporary period of time, maybe either going to school or getting a job or something like that. That is a short period of time. There are programs that, it could lend itself to that, but this isn't something where, you kind of do flippantly. You kind of have to do all the benefit and the cost-benefit analysis to it.
All right.
We can help you out with that.
We've been doing that, but and then I'm not sure he's aware of all those other costs, which I'm a little older and wiser, so yeah.
Well, let's get in, bring them in. We'll go over it. We can do it any day you want to do it. We'll sit down and bring them in, and it's something that we do on a regular basis.
That's a good idea. If you call me later.
Yeah, we can do that, Randy.
100%. Definitely.
You got a deal. I'll call you for the show, Randy.
All right. Randy calling from
sir.
Detroit.
You got it.
Again, sometimes you got to hear from somebody else. It's like, kids, Harry, no matter what I say to my kids, they're not going to listen to me, but if someone else says it to them, right?
It's like this. You sit down with your kids or, your relatives, and you sit there and you give them the talk, right? You always call it the talk. And you don't know anything. But then when you're talking to strangers, it's like you're the smartest guy in the world. It's unbelievable, right? Right, Alex?
It took me 35 years to learn that.
We have a few open lines here. 248-539-9797. It's the Hardcore Mortgage Show brought to you by Capital Mortgage Funding. Call us here in the studio, 248-539-9797. And we'll go to Reno out there in Waterford. Good morning. You're on the show.
Yeah, hey, how's it going?
Good. What's up, man?
I got a question for you guys. Our house is paid off, but in the next year, we want to start traveling. I'm going to give my business to my son, and she's going to retire from her job. We thought about renting it out, but we have a built-in swimming pool inside the house, so the insurance on it to rent it is just astronomical.
Yep.
So we were thinking, well, we'll borrow some money against the house. It's going to be another year, maybe two, before we move or start traveling, borrow enough money to get an RV so we can travel in the RV, do the home improvements, and turn around and sell it.
Okay. There's nothing wrong with that.
That's an okay plan. You could sell it outright and buy a less expensive home now that you might not use quite a bit over the next few years.
Well, we figured we'd just stay in the house for the 2 years because of the kids, and the grandbabies can still use the pool till a year or two from now when we actually go.
Yeah, Reno, it's a great idea, man. Let me call you for the show, and I'll run some numbers for you, and we'll get it taken care of. That's a regular deal. No
cash
problem at
out
all.
Refinance. Sounds great. Lots of ways to save money and take advantage of the equity in your home. When we come back, ways to save you money. 248-539-9797.
When was the last time you were part of something really big? Something like saving a life. Simply text SCREAM to 50555 and you can be part of 97 The Ticket Student Heart Check Program. Your text donation, $10, will pay for a heart screening for one young person who may otherwise not be able to afford it. Text SCREAM to 50555 to donate $10 to 97 The Ticket Student Heart Check Program. Charge will appear on your wireless bill will be deducted from your prepaid balance. Charge must be authorized by the company. Message and data rates apply.
Football is a game of guts, glory, and total domination. Are you ready for Gridiron Glory? The Pro Football Hall of Fame exhibition for a limited time at Henry Ford Museum. Over 200 game-changing artifacts from pioneers Jim Thorpe, Vince Lombardi, Dick Butkus, record breakers Barry Sanders and Joe Montana, today's stars like Matthew Stafford, Tom Brady, and more. This is the NFL's Vault of Heroes. Your chance to relive legendary only at the Henry Ford. Get a chance at free exhibition and Lions tickets. Visit us on Facebook.
Today, put on your maize and blue and head out to Ann Arbor's Pioneer Park for some Michigan tailgating with the 97 The Ticket Street Team and the Ticket Chick. 97 The Ticket's Pat Caputo broadcasts live from 10 to game time. Find out more at 971theticket.com. 97 The Ticket is proud to welcome Capital Mortgage Funding as partner in the Student Heart Check Program. They'll donate a portion of every mortgage closed to the Student Heart Check Program. Call 1-800-LOW-RATE.
Capital Mortgage Funding is powered by Fairway Independent Mortgage Corporation. NMLS ID number 2289, Equal Housing Lender.
When you were a little kid and you thought about what you wanted to be, teaching was at the top of your list. But things changed. And as you got older, teaching didn't seem like the best option anymore. So you're thinking you'll be something else. But what would your 12-year-old self say? Now you want to be a doctor. You don't think teachers save lives? 25 at a time. An actress? Try playing a different role every time the bell rings. How about a scientist? Ever heard of physics? Chemistry? Who do you think teaches that? Teachers today are breaking down obstacles, finding innovative ways to instill old lessons, and taking learning far beyond the four walls of the classroom. It's time to recognize that great things are happening in teaching and put it back on your list. Don't try to convince yourself otherwise. You had it right the first time.
Find out how you can make more at teach.org. Make more. Teach. Brought to you by Teach and the Ad Council.
So when you get to the corner of Smith and Orchard, you're going to want to take a left.
Not going to.
Then what you're going to do is turn onto Marcy Avenue
broke up,
and go past the first 3 lights and then take the next left. Then drive 5 more blocks and you should be there.
To judge, right?
Park on the right. I'll see you later tonight.
It's hard to concentrate on 2 things at once, like texting and driving. Stop the text, stop the wrecks. How will you stop texting and driving? Tell us at stoptextstopwrecks.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Driving has a rhythm all its own. Don't wreck it with a text. Before you get behind the wheel, silence your phone. Or better yet, designate a texter. For more text-free driving tips, visit stoptextstopwrecks.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
Ravens, Steelers. Sunday night football coverage begins at 7:30 on your home for the NFL on Westwood One, 97.1, The Ticket.
Welcome back to our show. Oh, we've got another 15 minutes or so. It's the Hardcore Mortgage Show, brought to you by Capital Mortgage Funding. Give us a call, 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker. Of course, we always take your calls here live in the studio at 248-539-9797. A quick hello to my friends, Mike and Julie. See you a little bit later tonight. I'm going to head downtown, Harry, and check it out. Lots
awesome.
going on.
Where are you going downtown, my man?
I might hit the casino just to hit one of those restaurants and check out a few things. There's
awesome.
Fundraisers and stuff like that.
Well, be safe.
I'll be safe.
Don't lose any money and be safe.
I won't. Definitely. I'm not a big gambler anymore. I don't do that stuff too much anymore.
You never really were.
I'm a big eater.
That's good.
I like good food.
You're in good shape.
Definitely some restaurants. Hey, what's your motivation in buying a house? We'll definitely give you some answers to that. Are you making an offer? Was it rejected? Does your offer stand out from any other offer out there? There's a lot to learn. Just go low ball and put a bad contingency in your purchase agreement offer. There's lots of planning and knowledge you need to have if you're going to make that offer.
Well, in our area, Metropolitan Detroit, October was a very strong purchase month, and it seems to be carrying over into November, which is starting to get late in the year. The activity around Metropolitan Detroit, Wayne, Oakland, Macomb, Washtenaw, Livingston, Monroe counties, very, very strong right now. So you have to have an offer that is accompanied by a pre-approval letter. Alex, you're very, very big on that. We don't talk about pre-qualification. We talk about an actual approval that we run through our system and get an approval for you. So when you go ahead and you're making that offer, you're actually pre-approved. We run financials, okay? We've taken a look at tax returns. We have pay stubs. We've verified assets. All the things you need to do, as well as running the credit report. All the basics are done, and when you make your offer, that offer will stand out because it does have a bona fide pre-approval letter. That, Alex, that's one of your biggest pet peeves.
It's not worth the paper it's printed on.
That's right.
I just don't understand how people get 80% through a transaction, and all of a sudden it's not approved anymore.
Well, I got a call yesterday actually from a borrower that told me that their realtor won't even put them in the car unless they had a pre-approval letter.
I wouldn't either.
I admire that. That's exactly right.
I wouldn't either.
Why waste somebody's time?
Why would you waste your time driving around all weekend looking at houses for someone that's not going to, it's not going to buy anything?
Right. So that's why it's very, very important that you get that pre-approval letter and you get all your documents in order. And I must say, Alex, I was with a group of people yesterday. They love it when you get on people's cases when there's a foreclosure or a bankruptcy and it's like a year later and then they want to borrow money. They absolutely. And I say, well, you know what? I guess the point that Alex is making is we just want people to be prepared and then just come clean with us about everything, anything in the past. You can't hide these things.
It's not that I get upset if someone had a foreclosure. I think the gentleman's name was Ed. The guy lost his job. He went back to school. It sucks.
Different.
I live here too, man. I ground through it. I mean, I could live any place I want in the whole country. And I live here because I like here. And that guy ground through it. and he wants to get back in the market. That's cool. I mean, I got that guy's back. I'll take care of him. It's the people that call and they want to strategically foreclose on a property, or they're
using the system to go ahead and benefit, and
they're
really
buying, a rental, but I'm going to live in the rental. And it's just, listen, man, I like good food. I like having a glass of wine. You know where you can't do any of that stuff? In prison. I'm not putting my name on anything that's even sort of
Nicely
outside the
said.
box.
That's right.
Let's go to another Alex out there who wants to refinance his house out in Lake Orion. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Hi.
Morning.
Me and my wife are looking to do some improvements on our house. We bought it about 2.5 years ago. We're at got an FHA mortgage about 4.25%. And we just wanted to know, what kind of options we had as far as using the equity that we have in the house to do those improvements.
Yeah, I mean, you can always take the cash out. On FHA, you can go up to 85% cash out. On conventional, it's 80% cash out. What are you guys trying to do? What type of improvements?
We actually have some crawl space issues. We wanted to encapsulate the crawl space with foundation systems and
there's
fence our yard and stuff like that.
There's a product out there. It's called an FHA 203K refinance, where I can actually get you cash out with a subject to value. So the subject to whatever you're going to do to the house. It's a pretty good product. It really, it's going to depend on your credit and all that. But there's definitely some options there for you, Alex.
Okay.
Let me give you a call after the show, and I'll see what I can do for you.
All right. Thank you.
Good deal. Thank you, sir.
All right. Lots to talk about always in the mortgage world. Again, an interesting article came out yesterday. It was from a gentleman over at BlackRock. I was talking about a stimulus on how to get more and more buyers out there.
Is it my brother?
Is that your brother, man?
My brother did it.
Your brother works at BlackRock.
Oh, okay. It wasn't him, though, but he would appreciate us giving the company a little
He just made managing director.
$1.2 trillion Achilles heel in American debt. This is for the student loans. I mean, $1.2 trillion in kids that have student loans across the country. I mean, hundreds of thousands of dollars. So the article really was sort of interesting because it talked about how 7 million people in the U.S. would be eligible probably for FHA loans if the government was able to put some sort of incentive together, how to maybe forgive some of the student loan money, which is secured and they're all typically loans through the federal government. If you were to buy a house, that it could free up maybe 1 million buyers, potentially produce 2 to 3 million jobs. So there's some really interesting things going on out there. And hopefully government, and again, make sure you get out there and vote so that you get your voice heard on Tuesday.
Well, student loan debt, Harvey, that's going to be the next big thing that people are going to have to address, because you're talking about, in the trillions of dollars, which is an obscene amount of money. And how does anybody ever have a shot to get out from under that student debt? They're going to be carrying that student debt for a very long time.
It also scares a lot of people away here, as you mentioned, because with interest rates being so low, when you owe $300, $400, $500 extra dollars, that's a lot of buying power that gets taken away from you. So again, if you only qualify for an $80,000 house and you're more of a house that you're looking to buy, you're going to make the purchase, and you're looking to buy something you're going to stay in for a while, but you may not qualify. So, again, find out with all the changes coming up. And, again, hey, make your vote count and get out there and definitely hit the polls on Tuesday. Hey, let's try Ken out there. We've got time for another call. Ken and Macomb. Good morning, Ken. Go ahead.
Good morning, gentlemen. How are we doing today?
Good.
What's happening, Ken?
Good. Okay, I just went through a divorce, and I am a 1099 employee, self-employed. Have not quite been at my job for 2 years yet. My mortgage history is perfect. My credit's fine. I've got money for down payment. But my understanding is I have to have 2 years worth of tax returns before I can qualify for a mortgage. Is that correct?
Yeah. When is your 2-year anniversary?
Be in April.
Okay, in April. So you're going to be filing. Yeah. So you're going to have 1 year of tax returns. I don't know, what did you?
April's it's right around the corner, though, man.
Yeah, but are you in a related industry? Is there something that you decided that you were working for somebody and then you decided to go on your own?
No, it was just kind of a career change. So.
Okay. So there's nothing that we could go ahead and relate back to your previous employment. A lot of times you can do that. I mean, we'll give an exception based on your credit standing and all the compensating factors. But we'd have to talk a little bit more about it. But it sounds you absolutely have to have 2 years, and it sounds like in your circumstance.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't know if there was some loophole or some way to get around that.
Not really. I mean, I think I wanted to get some information, Ken. I want to see the 2 years tax returns. There might be something we can do for you. If not, rent month to month until
do a 6 month lease.
Big deal, man. And then you've been buying the spring when all the houses go back on the market.
Okay.
So I'll call you for the show and see what I can do for you, buddy.
All right, thanks.
Thanks, Ken. See you.
All right, I like that. Set up a plan, and definitely we had a lot of people that have called us ahead of time and said, here, I'm going to be buying a house. What do I need to do? I had a friend call me this week and said, look, I'm thinking about buying next year, want to run some raw numbers. He's renting now. Boy, if you're used to being a homeowner, you've gone through a divorce, yes, it's pretty exciting to get back into the housing market and see if you get a roof over your head.
In Ken's case, I mean, I don't know how old he is, but I mean, so maybe his dad co-signs for him. Maybe his uncle co-signs for him. I mean, if he's ready to move right now and he's got, a relative that'll do that for him, I mean, you can do that. That's
he's
fine.
not in an unusual situation.
No,
the situation is that, he went from being a W-2 employee, sounds like in a different type of industry that he was in before, and now he's on his own, which is always a good move. And we just need to, got to take a look at all that information.
$10,000 in a mortgage is about $50 a month. And, of course, the National Association of Realtors revealed the other day that half Americans reported that student debt is the number one obstacle in home ownership. And, again, we talk about that. What do you mean $50, Harvey? What I mean is, you're talking $250 is $50,000 in buying power. And that's really where we're going with this. Again, it doesn't take a whole lot of money to get into a house. Down payment, zero down on many programs. Rural development loans are fantastic. So for all our listeners out there in the outlying parts of the county of Oakland and Macomb and Wayne, you qualify for RD loans. And then, of course, Washtenaw, Livingston, and Genesee, just about the entire county and anything even past those counties, Jackson, just about everything is rural development loans, zero down. Again, you got to qualify for the program, but pretty easy qualification. So find out more by calling Capital Mortgage at 1-800-LOW-RATE. That's 1-800-569-7283. Again, find out how you can purchase a house with very little money.
Is it that time again, Harvard?
I hear the music.
That was a quick hour.
Are you kidding me?
I'll tell you, it's cold out there, but the sun is shining. There's no Michigan State football. There's no Lions football tomorrow. Well, what do we got here? We got something else. There's Michigan football.
Well, you got Andy.
Is there girls hockey?
You got the savior. You got the savior Andy Dirks not being a Tiger anymore. You have that, and then you have Michigan State women's hockey at Grand Valley tonight. So we're going to see that in Grand Rapids. So hopefully the Lady Spartans are going to win.
And a quick congratulations for all those high school football winners yesterday. Keep it up. And again, we'll be back here next Saturday. Another version of the Hardcore Mortgage Show. Check us out.
The preceding was a paid program. Views expressed on this program are not necessarily those of CBS Radio, its sponsors, or affiliates.
I don't know. I wouldn't say we're rich, but, but we're comfortable. We got here the hard way by putting everything into our business and sacrificing our own personal gains. But we don't own any fancy cars, don't get me wrong, or take expensive trips. I mean, everything has gone into our company. And now we're at a point where we want to enjoy the fruits of our labor. We're proud of what we did. We need more than just a savings account. We need a bank that helps us develop a plan to grow and protect what we've built. I guess I could say that I expect my bank